Tomorrow, Taylor Swift begins her last stop of the Eras Tour. She'll do 3 nights in Vancouver, and then after almost 2 years, the Eras Tour will come to an end.
It's so crazy. I can't believe it's almost over. 152 shows on 5 continents, the highest grossing tour of all time. And by the time it's over, it's expected to have brought in $2 billion.
And that's crazy because no other tour has even hit 1 billion. And the show itself is a feat. 3.5 hours, 40 plus songs, and 2 surprise songs that she has to learn for every show.
And as you can tell from our shirts, we are big fans. But the segment isn't just for Taylor Swift fans. We're going to get into some of the record-breaking impacts, some of the smaller, more interesting details that you might not have known, and some of the controversies along the way of this cultural phenomenon that the world was just entranced by.
Taylor announced this tour at the end of 2022, fresh off the huge success of her album Midnights. That was the first time an artist took over the entire top 10, and Eras would be her first time going on tour in 5 years since the pandemic canceled Loverfest.
And the last time she actually went on tour was Reputation, which was a comeback from a low point in her life. And through all of this music, especially Folklore and Evermore, she kind of got this whole new fan base that has helped her once again dominate the music industry.
So demand for tickets was through the roof. And you and I have been to other tours, and it's always kind of a challenge to get tickets. But this was a whole other beast. Like, Ticketmaster was simply not up for the challenge, and we know how that went.
Troubles continue for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Ticketmaster has canceled the public sale for the tour.
Extraordinarily high demand there and no remaining tickets available. More than 2 million tickets were sold Tuesday, the most ever sold for an artist in a single day. Caused a near meltdown of the site.
So for the US leg of her tour, average resale ticket prices were $1,088.
Crazy.
Literally insane. American fans were actually traveling to Europe over the summer because it was cheaper to get a flight to Europe and pay for that ticket than somehow get impossible $1,000 tickets in their home city.
So the Eras Tour kicked off on March 17th, 2023 in Glendale, Arizona. She really takes you on a journey through all of her iconic eras. She sings everything from You Belong With Me to Blank Space to Fortnight, which she added after Torture Poets came out. She has a $100 million interactive video screen stage, and the set is so elaborate. Literally, trees grow during Evermore. Purple clouds encircle her during Midnights. Giant flames that heat up the entire stadium erupt during 1989.
But she didn't just rely on stage production. She had a lot of choreography and dancing, and as Taylor fans, we know that dancing hasn't always been her strong suit, but she did such a good job on this tour. Yeah. She even had like a burlesque number during Vigilante Shit, and she tapped Mandy Moore, a Dancing with the Star judge, to be her lead choreographer. And then there's the fashion. She wore costumes from some of the best designers in the world. She wore a like glittering bodysuit from Versace during Lover, multiple pairs of Louboutin boots, a lot of Roberto Cavalli, like her cool like Reputation snake jumpsuit and like floaty dresses during her surprise songs.
Predicting what she was going to wear literally became a sport. It's called Swift Ball, and every night 30,000 Swifties would compete fantasy football style to see who could guess what she's gonna wear that night.
I honestly can't believe that we didn't participate.
Same.
It's a shame. But it really does speak to what we know, which is that she has this super invested fandom. But what took it kind of to the next level was both nights she performed in Seattle, the show caused seismic activity equivalent to a 2.3 magnitude earthquake.
I'm proud to say I was a part of that one.
Just like imagining you jumping around in Seattle, like causing an earthquake.
That's accurate. And in so many stadiums, she broke the all-time capacity record. Like Nashville, Pittsburgh, Sao Paulo, when we were there in New Jersey.
She also had the biggest crowd of her career during the tour in Melbourne, when she had a crowd of 96,000 people each of the 3 nights that she performed.
But the most fans in a single city was London, where she performed 8 nights at Wembley Stadium, the only person to do that many on one single tour.
And countries were like fighting over her. This was really interesting. Singapore negotiated some kind of payment with her team so that Singapore was her only stop in Southeast Asia. So she performed 6 shows there, and leaders of Hong Kong, Thailand, the Philippines were pissed and even spoke out against it. And I mean, I get why. Her tour added $370 million to Singapore's economy.
This boost has been coined the Taylor Swift effect, and it happened in every single city she went to. It's literally on par with the Super Bowl, but imagine that happening every single city. You know, hotels, food, transportation, shopping. It all adds up.
Fans actually spent an average of $1,300 per person to like go to the shows.
13. Taylor would love that.
Cute. So hotels were breaking occupancy records, and airlines even changed their models to accommodate more fans when they were flying to see her concert. Air New Zealand, for example, added 2,000 extra seats to their airline around Taylor's tour, and they even named some flights NZ 1989.
That's brilliant marketing. And while it will be a while before we have the total numbers everywhere, in just the US, she likely added $10 billion to the economy. And local governments also honored her. So like in Santa Clara, they made her honorary mayor. Minneapolis renamed the city Swiftiapolis.
Smart.
And Rio de Janeiro literally projected her Junior Jewels t-shirt from the You Belong With Me music video onto Christ the Redeemer.
And obviously for the fans, one of the most exciting parts of going to a Taylor show is dressing up. So Cowboy Boutiques in Australia saw a 200% increase in demand when Taylor was performing.
And Taylor didn't know when she wrote You're On Your Own, Kid that she was going to spark a friendship bracelet frenzy. The craft store Michaels reported that bead sales increased up to 500% in each city in the days leading up to the concert.
Fans were also obviously going rabid for Taylor merch. Not us.
No.
We weren't doing that. And so Taylor's tour merch revenue was an estimated $240 million. And those numbers are definitely even higher now because those were for only her first leg of the tour in 2023.
I heard on a podcast someone was recommending going to get your merch during All Too Well 10-minute version. Like, jail.
That podcast should be shut down. It is sacrilegious. I mean, it is, though, hard to know when to go because you don't want to miss anything. What was your favorite set?
I have 3, and I physically cannot pare it down more than that. So it is a complete even tie between Lover, Reputation, and Midnights. What would it be your dream surprise song night?
So, say Red and You're Losing Me. So clearly I'm in a mood, but those, like, I would have killed to see those. But her life has changed so much from when the Eras tour started. Like, she went through a big public breakup.
Bye, Joe.
Released TTPD,
Which had a record 1 billion streams in the first week.
became a billionaire.
From just her music alone.
One-time Person of the Year, set a Grammy Album of the Year record, and of course started dating Kansas City Chiefs Travis Kelce.
And I will admit, I was a little skeptical at first, but after seeing it unfold and seeing how supportive he's been of her, like, he's literally been to countless dozens of shows at this point. I am officially a fan of the relationship. He even appeared on stage with her in London.
He's obviously busy, football season, like winning the Super Bowl, and she's been traveling everywhere. They still managed to find time together.
Yeah, ladies, if a guy ever tells you he's too busy to date, that's an excuse. And same for her. She literally had to fly 20,000 miles back from her last show in Tokyo to make it to the Super Bowl and be there to watch him win.
Which, of course, did ignite some controversy. So Taylor has 2 private jets, and between flying around for her shows, plus flying like internationally to come home on the weekends to like see Travis, she's been criticized for her carbon footprint, which isn't new. In 2022, it had been reported that she was the #1 carbon celebrity polluter.
She did buy double the amount of carbon offsets she needed to compensate her travel for the Eras tour before it kicked off.
Okay, fine.
She's a green queen.
But along those lines, like, the tour wasn't always a fairy tale. In August, Taylor had to cancel 3 shows in Vienna, where 200,000 people were actually expected to go because of an ISIS-planned attack. And the CIA ended up like foiling the plan, but the terrorist group was allegedly plotting to kill tens of thousands of people and leave a trail of blood.
And then, of course, super tragically, a 23-year-old fan died of heat exhaustion in the crowd waiting for her show in Rio to start. The authorities said the feel-like temperature was 138 degrees Fahrenheit. And people might not know, Taylor donates to charities in every single city that she stops in. And then, of course, she made headlines last year for giving those $100,000 bonuses to each of her production truck drivers.
Which makes sense. Like, the show was a huge production and grossed over $13 million per show. And we haven't even mentioned the Eras movie yet. It grossed over $261 million globally at the box office, making it the highest grossing concert film of all time.
and also the only concert film to be nominated for a Golden Globe.
I bought an Eras popcorn bucket, and instead of throwing it away, use it as like a mini trash can next to where I do my makeup.
I'm sure that's exactly what Taylor hoped you do.
Of course. I also have like a tote and magnets and posters courtesy of Ren, who went to one of the shows in London and bought these like Taylor fan boxes for us that she had to like fly back to the
They're
US with.
huge. Literally, this tour has permeated everything. Mabel, what the heck are we going to do when it ends?
I really don't know. I mean, it started to really hit us and feel real when she broke down at her show in Toronto a couple weeks ago.
Everybody just put so much of this into this tour, into their I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just having a bit of a moment, sorry.
We've said it once, we'll say it twice, we'll actually say it 1 million times, but it truly is the end of an era.
The best era. And it definitely would be Taylor's style to go out with a bang of some kind, like maybe a surprise announcement.
Ooh, so true. I'm definitely expecting something Reputation related. I think most people are.
There is another group that think it's debut up next. And then there's a group that thinks it's going to be debutation, so a double release. But just watch her do none of those and just come out with TS12.